tough.
Lightweight bout, Chase Hooper coming back against Nick Fiore, -110 from Nick Fiore, +110 for Chase Hooper, over under 1.5 rounds, -145 for the over, +145 for the under. Chase Hooper coming in here 2-3 in his last 5. Nick Fiore 4-1, got his first loss in his last time out against the debuting Mateusz Rebecki, who was a big favorite in that one. And Nick Fiore survived all 3 rounds. He was a +550 underdog. And I can't say he looked good, but I mean, he was a big underdog and he was expected to get blown out of the water. Survived. And, got a takedown on Rebecki, landed a few strikes, ultimately lost 30-27 and 30-26 on the judges' scorecard. But short notice and a decent performance for him to survive against a guy who looks like a beast, in that division. Chase Hooper, on the other hand, our boy Chase Hooper did not look good in his last fight against Steve Garcia. And we were honestly very concerned for our boy Chase Hooper because he got touched up on the feet and it looked like the man had never stepped foot in a kickboxing class in his entire life, because got knocked down 3 times, almost with the same punch every time. And he got beat up in 92 seconds. So it was a very bad look, very, very bad look. And he's coming in here. I will say he got that calf slicer in Fury Pro Grappling at the end of 2022. So maybe that helps him a little bit as far as confidence goes. So he's not coming in off a loss entirely. He got the win in a grappling match against Clay Guida. But I can't expect that he goes in there willingly able to stand with Nick Fiore after he just got pieced up bad. But what do you think? This is damn near a pick'em, and you're getting a guy who's 5 fights into the UFC, still very young, against a guy in Nick Fiore whose second fight in the UFC definitely lost in his first fight, but gave a good impression to where his heart is, where his durability is. What do you think?
Yeah, Chase Hooper's moving up in this fight, right?
Yeah, moving up to 155.
155.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I've looked on Instagram and stuff. It seems like Chase Hooper is at least trying to, get stronger from stuff he's doing. And he is 6'1", so that's a tall lightweight. And he uses that length and stuff on the ground really, really well to, reverse position, fish for triangles, just weird submissions. It's like he's slow-mo with it, but he's almost just like a rubber band, man. He's so flexible, and he uses those limbs to get where he wants. And against Steve Garcia, I think that's just a terrible matchup for him. I should have seen that coming 100%, because Steve Garcia is just going to come forward and wing shots at you until he either puts you out or you put him out. And, we all should have known Chase Hooper doesn't really have the ability to sit in the pocket and put people out. So that was a terrible stylistic matchup for him. Nick Fiore, though, New England cartel guy with Rob Font and guys like that, but he's not really a striker. He's kind of the same as Hooper. He's going to win the fight on the ground. That's where he shines. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, as is Chase Hooper, I believe. If he's not, he's a brown belt, and probably because he's so young. But, yeah, man, it's just going to be who's better on the ground. And I think Chase Hooper, with the size, might have the advantage. And I just don't see this one playing out on the feet. And if it does, I don't see either guy looking too great, in my opinion. Fiore still kind of got those unknowns about him because he comes in to the UFC and we don't really get to see a stand-up game from him because he's fighting Mateusz Rebecki, who's just a savage wrestler and likes to get on top and just ground and pound people. So there are some unknowns there. And with Hooper, it's just obvious by now what, he's going to Imanari roll, and he's going to look to snatch a leg to get you down and then kind of work submissions from there, which, maybe that works in this fight against the inexperienced guy like Fiore, or maybe Fiore shocks everybody and stuffs takedowns and keeps the fight standing and looks better on the feet. So many unknowns. And this is like the fans' main event of the week. I don't know if you've looked at Twitter or if you looked at Instagram. People are going crazy at each other over this fight for some reason. So it's hard to pick this one. I'm going to stick with Chase Hooper. I think the kid after the KO loss to Steve Garcia, I think, he's kind of in a tough spot with the fans. He looked awful on the feet, gets KO'd against the savage like Garcia. But his other two losses, Steven Peterson, who's older, decision, okay. But Alex Caceres is a pretty damn good fighter. Just knocked out Julian Erosa with that head kick, and he's super well-rounded. So that's a tough-ass fight for Chase Hooper looking back at it. Like I said, going up to 155 too. Maybe he's going to be stronger than he was before. Maybe that's going to work to his advantage. Maybe it's not. But if this fight hits the ground, I think we're going to see some high-level grappling and transitions and submission attempts. And I'm going to go Chase Hooper at the end of the day. I'm going to take a shot on him. Might not bet on him, but for my prediction, I'm going to take Chase.
That is a bold play. I don't think I could ever bet on Chase Hooper unless he wins like 3 or 4 fights in a row. Like, he's got to show me a lot before I would.
Oh, yeah, that's what, like I said, I'm not betting on it, but for the prediction, I got to take him. Just because, stylistically, I really think this is a fight of who's better on the ground. And if it's only on the ground, like, Chase Hooper's pretty damn good.
He is solid on the ground. But I don't think Nick Fiore takes it to the ground, honestly. Like, if you watch that last fight with Chase Hooper, like, why would you ever take it to the ground? Just stand and bang with him. I think Nick Fiore training at New England Cartel is going to be seasoned enough on the feet to where he can beat Chase Hooper on the feet. So I'm going to go with Nick Fiore. This will be our disagreement of the week. I'm 2-0 on disagreements in the past 2 weeks. I mean, I took Silva de Andrade last week. I took Akron the week before. So this is going to be our disagreement for the week. But I just look at Chase Hooper, who he's beat in the UFC. Like, Peter Barrett, Daniel Tamor, and Felipe Colares, RIP Felipe Colares. But none of those guys are in the UFC anymore. So I don't know. I mean, Nick Fiore is good enough for me to take against Chase Hooper, especially at, these kind of odds. I know Fiore is the slight favorite now, but I mean, it's damn near pick 'em, and I just can't get behind Chase Hooper.
Here's why Fiore might not be worth it, though. Like, listen to this, okay?
Let's Jay Ellis, you tell me Jay Ellis, right?
No, yeah, Jay Ellis, obviously.
Jay Ellis twice.
But look at his other wins. Jerome Mickey, 4-9. Andre Borgs, 8-4. That's his best win. George Shepard, 15-13. Stefan Stengel, 6-19. He knocked him out in Combat Zone 78. So, I mean,
it's a good win.
It's like, man, dude, this guy's beating guys you've never heard of and probably aren't even fighting anymore. In some lower level promotions that I don't know, man. I don't see him being that good. And if he has decent striking, maybe he can win. But if he, doesn't have good takedown defense and Chase Hooper can use that length to get to his back one time, like, maybe that's all it takes. It's such a weird fight. It's so weird. It's hard to tell.
Yeah. Might be one to just stay away from.
We should make a little side bet with each other on this one.
We should. We'll come up with something.
We'll promote it on Instagram.
Well, I gotta keep gotta stay away from Chase Hooper for now.